I have been working with Mark Whitehand for nearly a year now. It's hard to believe. Quickest year of my life. Best year of my life, actually. Now, Mark, I said that out loud. So the gig is, what happens when you take a call on a live stream? Does it just cut you off? I don't know. If this had happened 12 months ago, I would have literally ended up in the bathroom with the upsetness. Hi, Catherine. The story is that the last 12 months really has been the best year of my life. And the reason why it has been the best year of my life is because Mark Whitehand taught me how to show up and how to do video. And on the 26th of January this year, he put up a challenge on his own page, which was 30 days, a 30-day challenge of things you'd like to know about me. Now, that challenge was for people who weren't doing video and would like to do video in order to help them in whatever arena they were in. So when I saw this challenge originally, I said, you know, I'm not going to do that because I'm actually doing okay, and I'm kind of getting good at doing this video lark now, and I don't feel like I really need to do that. And as well as that, I was involved in a private group with Mark, which is Stents VIP, which we do far more in-depth work with regard to video. So this challenge of 30 things you'd like to know about me in 30 days, one of my own clients has discovered this on Mark Whitehand's page, and she is going to participate in the 30-day challenge. And I thought about it, and I said, right, okay, Nicola, you're kind of more or less an open book on Facebook, and you've no issue with allowing yourself be vulnerable in order for other people to learn from that. So I'm really open and vulnerable with the really big things that go on in my life currently right now, and big things that have happened in the past. And please God, and I know it's true because I get messages about it all the time, please God, people are learning from that and they're able to use my learnings as a stepping stone for themselves moving forward, right? And this is all brilliant, it's all cool beans. But what I've decided to do is I'm going to participate in this challenge for one reason only. Hi, Linda. And that's because maybe I need to get good at sharing the small stuff, the little things, the insignificant things, right? So the first thing that I'm going to share that you may not know about me. Hi, Amanda O'Brien. Haven't seen you in ages, honey. How are you keeping? The first thing that I'm going to share is that I have a really, I cannot explain how big this fear is. And I know fear is false evidence appearing real. I understand the whole love and fear thing. And it's mad actually, because this is the fourth conversation me and Mark ever had was about love and fear. So I have a crazy ass fear of mice. So much so to the point that rats don't exist, lads. You know, I can't even get into the whole thing about rats. No, look at me now. It's too big. The rats thing is too big. So let's just stick with the mice for a moment, right? My mum and dad, the house that we lived in when we were kids is the house that they still live in now. It's an old house. So obviously there's nooks and crannies, and mice got in the winter time. This is a major issue for me. So I would see mice and I would literally be paralysed with fear. And I mean paralysed with fear. Like, it would bring on panic attacks. And I remember my dad asking me one time to look for his shoes before he went to work. And if anybody remembers the houses in Edenmore, the boiler for the hot water was actually in the living room. And underneath the boiler was a space, and that's where we used to keep all of our shoes. My husband, Neil Bourne, in his house, underneath the boiler was actually where they kept the coal. How brilliant was that? That was a brilliant idea. We never thought to do that. I was the one that was sent out to the bleeding back garden in the cold, in the dark, in the rain, to collect the coal from the shed. But underneath our hot press was where the shoes were kept, right? And I remember one day taking out a shoe and saying, Dad, is this the shoe you're looking for? Mouse popped out, jumped onto my lap, and he ran it underneath the hot press. I used to move out of my mum's house as a child and move up to me nanny and say, let me know when the mice are gone and then I'll be home. Right, really bad. Hi, Yvonne. Really, really bad. So as a result, I can sense mice. I know I've never had a mouse in my home, my own home. The previous home that I lived in the really old house, we used to get mice in there, and I didn't see one, but Neil used to, oh God, I'm getting the heebie-jeebies even thinking of it. Neil used to handle it. They used to come in at the same spot. I'm going to have to stop talking about this. They used to come in at the same spot all the time, so we would catch them really quickly. Ooh, I feel like they're on me. Now, where I think that this fear comes from is when my mum was pregnant on me, she used to work in the Spar on Tonley Road in Dublin, for anybody who knew it. And when she was heavily pregnant on me, she was doing a stock check and she was on a ladder, silly Billy that she was, being on a ladder and pregnant. And there was a box and she put her hand into the box to find out whatever stock was in it. And she put her hand into a nest of mice. Okay? So I believe that the shock that she experienced on the day of putting her hand into the nest of mice while she was pregnant on me, and you know I work with energy, that the shock and the fear was transferred into me as, you know, a baby on the inside of my tummy, on the inside of my mum's tummy. So I've never been able to deal with this properly. I've never been able to get rid of this fear. They're too small. They're too bendy. They get into places where they shouldn't. They were not invited. And they're full of germs and I don't like them. Okay? I do not like, I strongly dislike mice. Strongly dislike them. Now, there was a brilliant guy. His name is escaping me for the moment. You know what I'm like with names, lads. I'm not great with the names. There was a brilliant guy in Drogheda. When we did get a mouse in the last house that we lived in the old country house, I called him. He was an exterminator and I was sobbing. I packed my bags. Now this is, now lads, you know how much I love my kids and my husband. I packed my bags and I said, listen lads, I'm leaving. I don't care. I am leaving this house. I don't know where I'm going, but I am leaving. And this man who I brought to the house, he was in the hall, is going to sort out the situation and he can call me when they're gone and then I'll be home. Now this guy was brilliant. He has a Facebook page, actually. I'll put in his link in underneath. He sat in the hall with me and I sat in a chair. Actually, the chair that my clients sit in now was a gift to me from another friend. Oh my God, this is a long ass story and it's gone in lots of different directions, which is always what happens. I sat in that chair and he basically knelt in front of me. He held my hands and we spoke about how I felt about mice and what it did to me. And we spoke about control and fear and the fact that I'm in charge of my house and if I leave, I'm handing over the power to them. So he was really speaking my language. And I don't know how this guy did it. Sorry, there was another call coming through. He convinced me to stay in my house. I don't know how he did it, but he did it. And he had all the mice gone in about 3 days. So I was really very grateful to him. It was a very difficult 3 days for me. I found it very, very emotional. And I was very sad and I cried a lot for the 3 days. But they were gone and he helped me and he was brilliant. So there's my first thing that you may not know about me, is that I have a crazy ass fear of mice. If anybody wants to open discussion about how we all feel about mice, that is absolutely no problem. My last thing that I want to say to you is that if there is anything that you actually want to know about me, pop in a question underneath and I'll answer it again. I'll answer the question tomorrow. So I'm hoping that this is what's going to happen. We're going to open discussion of questions that you want to ask me and I will answer them for the next 30 days. So knock yourself out. Ask away.